We met with Jeannie Miller, who rode Blazing Spirit, a 17-year-old park horse, this year at Canadian Nationals.
Hi, I'm Jeannie Miller, and this is my horse, Blazing Spirit. I train with Doug and Christy Stewart from Stewart Performance Horses in Eugene, Oregon. My boy here is 17 years old and getting ready to show tonight in the park horse class. We started showing him in park, I'm gonna say about 6 years ago. We show in park and then we show in English Pleasure 40 and over. I think he's really a nicely conformed horse. He has a lot of real good bone about him, so he's been able to maintain soundness for a lot of years. He was bred to show. His mother is a world champion 5-gaited saddlebred horse, and his father, Pension, is a national champion English Pleasure horse. I think that along with outstanding care that he gets from Doug and Christy really make a difference. One of the reasons that we wanted to train with them is we watched them have a horse that was 21 that was national champion in 2 divisions, and we saw that they took really good care of their horses. We were national champion park horse here last year and reserve national champion half Arab English amateur last year. He's been really good for me. I feel like we've bonded. I've shown him a long time, and it took me a long time to learn to ride him. He's super gentle on the ground, which is a little different than his under saddle persona. We think he's pretty special. I'm getting kind of towards the end of my time with him, which is real bittersweet. We had kind of thought we were going to finish last year, and then we had kind of some upsets in our family, and so we chose to do this as a little bit of an encore, and we showed at 1 regional this year, and we were champion park and reserve champion in the amateur English. I would love for my niece to continue riding him. He's such in beautiful shape right now. I don't want to see him as a done older horse, but he loves the trail. We do trail riding, and he likes to be handled by his mom. His persona under saddle is so different. Out on the trail, he likes to do the fastest walk he can, put his head down and just stroll on out, but he does like it, and he really likes to be outside. I think that's, you know, some of the reasons he's been able to maintain the longevity that he has, and you know, I think that these people have managed him really well for us. One of his things, he didn't really want a flat walk in English. And so we took him in park, and I think just he, you know, hits the show ring, and he really loves to do it and loves to go. He's a real sweet horse, and I'm really lucky to have him. Really lucky to have him. He's so special to us that we love for people to know about his success and just that he's a cool dude.
We also talked with Suzanne Ashby and her daughter Olivia Ray Vargas about Olivia's recent surgery and how she bounced back to compete at youth and at Canadian Nationals this year.
I'm Suzanne, Olivia Vargas' mom, and we are from Bedminster, New Jersey with Desiderio. This year, in preparing for nationals, youth nationals and Canadian nationals, Olivia undergone 3 surgeries to open up her airway, 1 in March, 1 in May, and 1 in the end of June. Twice she was in an induced coma and on support to open up her airway, and at the end of June she was able to accomplish those 3 surgeries, and which gave her 6 days to ride before we left for Oklahoma Nationals, where she became reserve national champion in walk, trot, 10 and under, and half Arabian. Olivia suffers from Treacher-Collins syndrome, which is a facial deformity in bones underdeveloped. What that means is every time she grows, her lower jaw does not grow, which cuts off her airway. This is about her 12th jaw surgery, and she's only 10. She placed 3rd in the full Arabian, and honestly, even though she placed 3rd, I thought it was her best class ever, and I didn't even care if she won. She was just phenomenal. It was more about experience and feeling confident, and every time she rides, if you ever look at her, she smiles the whole time effortlessly. She's really not in it for the win, she's just in it for the pleasure. Each jaw surgery consists normally in the past of 2 times, and so her 4th time consecutively has been, you know, they put in an apparatus, they break the bones, and they extract it with a device over a period of time, which is very extensive, painful, and a long procedure. And when they went in to take it out in March and to lock it for another period of time to make it hold in place, the brackets and the device were not compatible with her jawline. They put a wire, they wired her mouth shut, and it was very intensive, and we didn't know, so she woke up like that. Well, she came out of the OR, but she was still in an induced coma, and she gets that artificial airway through her nose because her airway is so small. So she's incubated through her nose, in short. And she was there for about almost 2 weeks each time, induced coma, and where she was able to have to learn how to be nutrient dependent in order to be discharged from the hospital. So she recovered quickly from her mouth being wired, but for 6 weeks, Olivia could not eat, she could not drink.
I did.
And yes, she did. She learned that there's a will, there's a way, like anything else she does, and she was able to, you know, push pureed foods on the back of her mouth or drink some kind of nutrient supply to get her through. So as time went by, she was able to adjust accordingly. In June, the end of June, she was able to get that device taken off. Her last surgery, she went in, she was discharged 2 hours later because she was so excited to get everything, all the apparatus out. And within 6 days, we flew out to a retreat in Utah for the Children's Craniofacial Association. And she was able to reconnect with 500 families across the world, including Canada, and where they're all children like her and adults who have craniofacial differences that come together as a big support system. Came home, I think, right after 4th of July, so she only had 6 days of writing before we went off to Oklahoma, and she did great. Dana Desiderio at the barn is so compassionate and understands what she's been through that she kind of does like equine therapy through the barn and lets her stay all day to brush the horse, wash the horse. And we actually, during her surgery process, she actually has been there a couple times just to get that reconnection that Olivia was seeking.
When I was in the hospital, I used to ask to go to the barn.
When she woke up, all she wanted to know if she could go to the barn. She's been strong, stronger than me. Sometimes she teaches me more things about myself than I ever imagined. But I'm very proud of you, and I'm happy that we're at a barn where I'm fortunate enough that a trainer would take a child with a disability, regardless of the liability that it could hold. Well, no matter what you do, as long as you have a good ride and do what you've been practicing to do and know what I know you can do, that's all that matters. But she just takes it like a fighter. So proud, so proud. Just because, you know, how do you feel like that you have a disability? Does a disability stop you from doing anything? Whatever you love to do, you could do.
Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you all tomorrow.